All right, so I've been talking to a couple friends of mine lately, and apparently it seems that nobody knows how tariffs work. And I'm sure that's not, I'm not an economist either, but I know how tariffs work because I import stuff. So I think the biggest misconception that people have is that other foreign countries pay a tariff to the importing country upon arrival, like at a FOB point. And that's not really true, because it's the importer, the company. So for example, if I ordered some draw track from a Chinese outfit, you got to pay a tariff on top of whatever your duty and your main bill is. So it's not so much that China's not paying that, right? I'm getting taxed, so to speak, to import a cheaper good. So that being said, let's just war game this. So I import the parts for draw track because really nobody in America makes draw track, right? Okay. So in this case, I'm just using an example. Let's just assume that the market leader is China to make draw track. There's no other competition to get this draw track because they kind of have the capacity and the machinery. Let's assume that out of all the countries, right, to do that type of product, kind of like chips, right? So it's not really fair to tariff something at that rate if you can't domestically produce that product as well. The point of a tariff is to level the playing ground, right? So automobiles is a different story, right? So now, we make cars domestically, but we have these things called, OSHA and unions and there's a ton of more expenses that it costs to make something domestically, as opposed to a foreign country that doesn't have, those organizations or laws. So I don't want to get down a rabbit hole, but the point is that if you can make a car half the price of what we can, well, the country, the importing country will impose a tariff to whoever wants to sell those imported cars. So it's a level playing field, and it provides even competition. So it's good. I mean, it's fine to impose tariffs to put a point across or to instigate certain types of policy changes. But I don't think those tariffs work as well when you tariff something that we can't effing make here or don't have the capacity of. It's not like you twitch your nose and you spin up a factory, right? It takes years of regulations and deals and all that stuff. So I think it's kind of foolish to say you're going to tariff something at and people fail to realize it's like, well, good, China's going to pay for that. Like, they're not, man. Like, the companies here pay for that tariff. That's a tax on a company, really, is what you're doing. And then that's going to get passed down the road, right? I'm not going to, so if I pay 30% more for draw track and that's the only place I can get it, well, I'm going to eat 30%? No, man, I'm going to pass it to the consumer, right? And so forth and so on. And then on top of that, so I pay that tariff to bring that good in, right? Okay, now I'm not increasing my margins. I'm not gouging anybody. I'm just simply adding 30%, right? Okay, so then what? You're going to tax me again at the end of the year and call it fucking income? You know what I'm saying? Like you're double dipping, man. So if you're going to do tariffs, you have to completely disengage the corporate tax or alleviate that section of it to make up for the tariff. So it's foolish to think that you're not going to have inflation by imposing tariffs, because we don't make shit here. You understand? Like, imagine, well, I mean, we saw it with COVID, but imagine if all the boats stopped floating. Never mind that. Never mind the shipping companies making a fortune off of volatility, right? And that, I mean, I'm starting to get off a track, but how do you think it benefits the shipping company and the insurers in peacetime or in wartime? I'll leave you with that, right? What do shipping rates do in times of war? I don't think they go down, right? So, you be careful with what you believe. Be careful and make sure you understand how a tariff actually works, okay? So, I'm not saying they're bad. I'm not saying they don't work. I'm just saying you got to use it properly and then throw people a bone if you're going to raise a tariff by 40%. Well, something's got to give, man, because you can't tax me at a 35% rate and then give me a 40% tariff on the goods I need to make shit. Who's winning there?